Hey guys, welcome to today's video. Today we're just gonna hang out and do a chit chat, get ready with me. It's been a minute since I've uploaded. I've just been kind of crazy doing things, you know, live stuff. So I thought we'd go ahead and sit down, play with a little bit of makeup, get caught up, and talk about the big birthday celebration extravaganza and all the things that has transpired since then. So if that sounds interesting to you, then stick around because I'm about to get started. But before I do, if you feel like it, like, subscribe, hang out if you haven't done so already. It would be really great to have you here. Always appreciated. And with that being said, let's get into today's video. Okay, so hair's up, eyes are primed, and we're ready to get started. I'm gonna go ahead and use this eyeshadow palette that my friend Clara gifted to me. This also went on the trip with us, so you know, I've really been digging it, getting a lot of use out of it, and I figured I would because that particular color story really does speak to me. It's something I can wear on a daily basis, and I've just been really loving it, so that's what I'm using today. All right, kids, let's get chatty. I've missed you. I have been, you know, aside from being busy and, you know, doing stuff, I just really have been kind of lazy. When it's come to wanting to upload, I haven't been feeling super motivated to do so. I don't know why. I couldn't really tell you any one reason other than, yeah, I've just been lazy. Sorry. Been more of a YouTube watcher lately than a YouTube poster, so I don't know how else to say it. But today is a day. It's happening, and I'm glad because I wanted to sit down and spend time with you guys, and I have a lot to share with you. So as you guys know, we went out of town for my birthday. We stayed at the Green Valley Ranch in Henderson out in Las Vegas because I wanted to spend time with my family out there, and you know, we wanted to go to the Stratosphere where Pat and I had our first date, and it's also kind of like our anniversary / birthday celebration. So I was really excited to go, and I hadn't been to Green Valley Ranch in a long time, maybe more than, I want to say it might have been more than 20 years, but God, I don't really want to say it might have been more than 20 years. Let's just say it's been a while. How about that? Since I've been there, and I remember really loving that resort. It's owned by Station Casinos, and they're basically the conglomerate in Las Vegas. They own a lot of stuff out there, a lot of casinos. They're very well known, and you know, it's like a chain, but this particular one in Henderson, it's a really nice resort, kind of like Red Rock. They're two really nice resorts. So I was excited to stay there, and I just remember it being something that I thought was really upscale and really nice, and yeah, I was expecting this experience, and I don't know, I'm going to get into it a little bit more, but back in the day when I used to go there, it was kind of like, for me, in my brain, like a Four Seasons, basically. And I've been to a Four Seasons once. I was invited to stay, and it's a beautiful experience if you've ever been to one. It's actually really nice. It's very luxe, and I just always thought of Green Valley Ranch as the same way. So we got up early in the morning and headed out. And it was, what, around like 9. And we got there fairly early. And when we first were getting there to check in, they told us that we weren't able to check in until 3. I wasn't expecting that. It was kind of strange because normally, you know, you check in at noon. But, you know, whatever, it's fine. And when we were, you know, kind of figuring out where we were going to go, we saw all these other cars arriving. It was on Saturday that we showed up there. A bunch of cars and all kinds of like vans and things like that. And all these little girls were getting off, and they're dressed in little gowns and stuff like that. It looked like there was, I don't know, like a pageant or something going on that weekend. And like toddlers and tiaras or something like that. Not all young, but, well, I mean, all young kids, you know, but different ages, I want to say it that way. And they were so cute, and they were all decked out. They're all excited and stuff like that. I'm gonna come back around to that again as we go on into this conversation, because you know, initially they show up and I'm thinking, oh my God, they're so cute, and they're all, you know, bustling about. They're all excited, and they're, you know, doing their thing. Everyone's hanging out in the lobby, but Pat and I are getting ready to grab the car because we're gonna take off for a while because he forgot to bring shoes with him, you know, like dress shoes, because we were going out the following night to our birthday anniversary / dinner kind of deal, and he didn't have shoes with him for that. So we leave the hotel as all this commotion is going on, and, spirits are high. We're feeling good. Haven't seen the room yet, but, the lobby and everything is as I remember it. And it's, it's still exciting, and we're going to go visit with my family and have dinner and all that stuff. So the mood was light, fun, and, we're having a good time. And for the most part, it was that, throughout the whole trip. But there are things to be said. Things have happened, transpired, but initially, it was fun and light. So we leave and we decide to go ahead and go over to Kohl's because, we're just going to check out what kind of selection of shoes. We were asking what was in the area. Even though I lived in Vegas for a while, I don't really know Henderson that well. I didn't really spend a ton of time there. So, I wasn't familiar too much with the area. So we found that Kohl's and we went in there and we're looking around and we're having fun. And Pat and I like to give each other a hard time. And by that, I don't mean that we're mean to each other, but we will razz each other a lot. We're like two kids that just kind of poke fun at each other, and we make each other laugh a lot every day. And when I say that we make each other laugh every day, I'm not exaggerating. We really do every day. That's just how we are with one another. So we're in the shoe store, or in the department there where they had the shoes and stuff, and even before we got there, we were giving each other a hard time. And I normally instigate the whole deal. I'm even laughing now, just kind of like remembering. I couldn't tell you verbatim what we were saying to one another, but we were just basically joking with each other. And the lady that was guiding us to the shoe department in the Kohl's, we had her already laughing too, just kind of along with us. And it's really it's like a you had to be there kind of thing. So it's hard for me to explain to you guys here on camera, but yeah, it's like you really had to be there. So we're just doing our usual thing, and we're having a great time, just giving each other a hard time. And I know that we're not quiet people when we're, we just are. Generally, and we're not like obnoxiously loud, but if you're within earshot, you're going to hear us, razzing each other and laughing with one another and all that jazz. So there was a lady that was there, and I could see her out of the corner of my eye. She was sitting, I don't know if she'd been trying on shoes or if she was there with someone who was shopping. She had her mask on and stuff, but at one point I could see that she was literally doubled over laughing at some of the things that Pat and I were saying to each other because, we were getting silly. And yeah, it was a fun time. We just, we were having fun with one another, and it was great, all fine and good. So we get the shoes, and then we go back to the hotel, and we hung out for a little bit playing in the casino, and I was calling my sister and talking to her on the phone saying, we'll be over in a little bit, because we just wanted to get checked in before we came by and went out to go and celebrate and do the whole thing. And I know she was kind of tripping a little bit because we showed up and we're like, we're here to buy shoes first before we come over. It was kind of like a weird situation, and that was one of the things I was giving them a hard time about, not bringing shoes. And I don't know, I can't explain it, so I'm not even going to try. So we finally get into our room, and it wasn't a terrible room. It was a nice room, but I think for what we spent on it, which, it was a per night, wasn't cheap. I'll put it that way. I guess I was expecting something else, and it just wasn't what I expected. It wasn't what I remembered. I don't know how else to say it, but it was a nice room. So we, unloaded all our stuff, and we were just kind of chilling for a little bit and got cleaned up, and we're getting ready to go over and go out to dinner, and all was well. I was trying to figure out how to get on the Wi-Fi, and normally when you're in a hotel situation, they leave the information, so it's like not difficult. You can find it easily, and I wasn't able to find it. I was like, that's kind of weird, but we'll look at it later, not a problem. And then we decided to just go ahead and go over to my sister's house and hang out, and I got to see the family, and then we went out and we had sushi, and we had a great dinner. It was amazing. And then we came back to the hotel later on in the evening, and we decided to just play a little Keno and hang out for a bit. And it was fun. We were all just having a good time, laughing together, being silly, all that stuff, and just enjoying, the whole moment. So, nothing major was going on. We're just kind of, playing and doing that thing and just chatting with each other and getting caught up. We're all sitting at this bank of Keno machines together. And, then all of a sudden, my adopted mom starts winning money, and she got up to about $600, which I thought was pretty cool. So the night was fun. I mean, we were having a really good time. So Pat got a little tired, and he decided to go on up to the room, and I stayed downstairs. And that's the AC that just kicked on. I need it. It's warm here today. The weather has really gotten warmer in the past week, so we've had the AC kind of cranking because it's been necessary. But sorry about the noise. If it bugs you guys, please try to ignore it. It's not a whole lot I can do about it. So anyway, we're playing, we're having fun, we're doing that whole deal, and I finally decide to go up to the room a little later on. It must have been around, what was it? I want to say it was around 11:30, 12, something like that, when my family went ahead and went home, and I went upstairs. I think it's fair to say it was around that time. So as I get on the elevator, or as I get off the elevator, and I'm walking to our room, I can hear ruckus, like, ruckus, what am I, 80? I hear noise. I hear kids yelling and laughing and having fun, like a large group of young girls. And what I didn't know when we were checking in, because, oh, I messed up here, shoot. Because when we were checking in, the lady said at the front desk that I could pick my room or whatever where I'd like to be, east wing, west wing, whatever the heck. And listen, to me, I don't know. Just something nice, I guess, was fine. I wasn't really picky. I just wanted, a nice room. And to my memory, they were all really nice rooms, and it didn't really matter. So I should have said something, because again, like I failed to mention when I was telling you after we dropped off our stuff, we had a lovely view of the parking lot. It was great. It was cars and stuff, and it was nice. And apparently I had, because I said, whatever room was fine, dealer's choice, we got a room that was placed between these two kind of like meeting rooms, I want to say, basically, where these large group of young girls were hanging out in the midst of doing their, I guess, their pageant or something like that. Just big groups of them, big groups, and you can hear them, yelling and laughing. And listen, I love kids. It's not even about that. I can't have kids. I don't have kids, but I love them. I think kids are great. When you're trying to go to sleep, not so much. Pat had been awake for a while when I walked to the door, rolled over and looked at me, and he was like, just kind of shaking his head, just like, oh no, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. So, the noise went on for a while, and they were having, they're living their best life, basically. And I think it was around, was it shortly after midnight? I don't know. It was late in the evening when the noise finally did quiet down, because the chaperones showed up and collected the young ladies and took them to their rooms or whatever. I guess their little hangout party was done by around then, which, was okay. Usually in Vegas, you stay up late anyhow. So, it wasn't terrible, but it wasn't something that we expected. And he was kind of giving me a hard time because I didn't pick a room that was, going to be quiet. But honestly, how would I know? How would I know? I had no idea that this was going to happen. So yeah, we dealt with that noise for a minute, and then the girls were ushered off at about, midnight or shortly after midnight, and we were able to fall asleep. And then the next day was just kind of like the day to celebrate and hang out. And I want to say, I have a couple pictures that I'm going to show, but mostly they're from my phone. I got something in there. If I can download them and figure it out, because I'm just not very tech savvy. Believe it or not, I'm really not. But I didn't really use my camera a lot. I brought it with me everywhere we went. Everywhere. But I never really used it, because you know what it is? And let's just continue on with the face. I'm going to leave my eyes like this, and then we're going to rock out this face right now, because I need it. It just looks kind of, For some reason, I couldn't really even say. No, I could, actually. It felt like, I don't know, it just felt like it was never the right time to film. You know what I mean? It just felt like, maybe I don't know how to explain it. It just never felt like the right time. It felt like it was like, when you're on vacation, I'm saying like a lot. I'm saying a lot. When you're on vacation and you're there with someone who doesn't normally film, because Pat doesn't. He doesn't do the YouTube thing, and I do. It can almost feel like the camera is an intrusive thing, and I felt like if I started filming here and there, that it might make Pat feel uncomfortable, and you too. Let's talk about it this way. You're aware that there's a camera there, right? You know what I mean? You're like, if you're out and someone's recording it, you're aware, and it kind of like leaves you feeling aware. And so I guess in the mode that I was in, I felt like maybe it was better for us to just go ahead and relax and enjoy the trip, So every time I reached for the camera, I started thinking, maybe it's just not the right time for that. And, let's just enjoy the moment, have fun, and not worry about filming. And, I'll get something later, I'll get something later, I'll get something later. And before I knew it, we were on our way home. So yeah, I didn't really film a whole lot. It just didn't happen because it never really felt like the right time. And I even had moments where I was like out walking around while, Pat was at the room and all that stuff. And don't get me wrong, he wouldn't have been upset if I filmed. It wouldn't have bothered him, but still, I wanted him to enjoy his time too. He works really hard. He never really gets a break. And I just wanted him to be able to relax and not think, oh, we're recording right now. That's awkward. So that's kind of where my brain went. And even when I was walking around by myself and I had the camera with me, I don't know. It was just like one of those things. I never really felt like it was the right time to film anything. So again, the trip just went by so quickly that before I knew it, we were on our way home and I had literally filmed nothing. Filmed nothing. Absolutely nothing. It was kind of funny because I was like, oh, I'm going to get there and I'm going to vlog and we're going to have a great time. It's going to be super fun. You guys are going to get to experience the trip with us. And listen, the only way you're going to get to experience it is by the story that I'm telling you right now, because this is all I got. This is it. This is the story, and beyond that, a couple of pictures, and that's it. So sorry about that, you guys. I will work on my vlogging skills, if that's even something you guys are even interested in, I'll work on it. But this time around, I thought it was going to happen. I had every intention of doing so, and, I just never did, just never felt like the right time. So the second day, when we were getting ready to go ahead and do the big celebration, we were out by the pool, and I think that, well, I don't know that I saw the big group of girls who were doing the little modeling thing or whatever the heck it was, but there were a lot of families there, a lot more than I remember. I don't recall it being, not that I mind, again, it sounds like I don't like families and stuff, like, so not even like that. It was just so different. I really want to stress that. It was so different from how I remembered it. The whole experience. And even by this time, can I just tell you, I still wasn't able to figure out how to get on the Wi-Fi. Pat had talked to someone at the front desk. He was talking about something like a car pickup, drop off, something like that. I don't remember exactly what it was, but he was having a conversation with one of the people at the front desk, and he had said that it was this really lengthy process, and I just never even got around to calling and figuring out. I tried to do it from what he was telling me, and I just couldn't figure it out, and I didn't really feel like calling them to try to figure it out, but I've never been in a situation in a hotel where it was even remotely difficult to log onto the Wi-Fi. I just thought that was a little weird. Again, not a deal breaker, just kind of weird. And then we're down by the pool, and it is very family, and something that I really like about the pool, and I don't know if it's going to show or if I'll even get any of the pictures up, maybe I'll download some pictures so you guys can see, is that the shallow end of the pool has sand like a beach. It's really neat, and it is fun for families and stuff like that. It totally makes sense, but it's something about that pool, it's just so unique to me, and I always remember that being something that I thought was really cool, because it had like this like sandbar there. You just don't see that kind of thing very often, or I don't, because I don't get out much. But it was very family that day. There was a lot of people just hanging out with their kids and stuff by the pool, and so the whole vibe was just kind of different from what I remember. And we were hanging out there for a little bit, and it was really hot, well over 100 degrees, and we were kind of roasting. And the initial place that I got to sit was it had a lot of sun, and it was far away from the pool. And then near the end, we were getting ready to leave, like in our last 20 minutes or whatever from being down by the pool, some people got up, and we had a really nice seat where I could stay close to my stuff and also be in the water, which was fantastic. So that, was all fine and good. We're just having a really good time. It was nice. It was super hot. And then we decided to go up to the room. We're relaxing for a while, and I went down and I played a little bit more because they have a live keno there. So we had some games and stuff running and just kind of enjoying the day. We had a reservation for 6 p.m. at the restaurant, and we got there in a timely manner, and we went up the elevator, and it's a long, what are you on, like 107th floor or something like that? You're way, way up there on the stratosphere, and it is a beautiful restaurant. We had a fantastic dinner, and we're just laughing, having fun, and taking pictures, and, Pat likes to post on Facebook, and I'm not a big Facebooker, but, I was posting things. I think I posted a picture on Instagram, and, we're just taking pictures, and I was trying to take a selfie. I don't know what it is, but I'm not like the best selfie person. I have so much fun here, talking to you guys. I have no problem with the camera. It doesn't bug me, but taking a selfie, especially out in public, is such a strange feeling for me. I don't know why. I always feel kind of awkward. Is the word awkward. And I'm trying to take a cute selfie, and there's this young lady that's like right behind me. There's a family actually sitting behind us, and literally as I snap the picture, she turns around and I just hear this in the back. And it was kind of like a funny moment. And I didn't take any more selfies after that. I'm like, okay, that's done. Wait, no, I think I took another one. I take that back, because I think I took another one when we were outside waiting for our car so we could go to the show. So yeah, I just thought, okay, I think I'm done. So I took pictures of other things. Like, there are people that are jumping off. There's a couple of things that they have there. They have a roller coaster that hangs off the side of the hotel. So you're like way up in the air, and this thing's just spinning around while you're hanging off this roller coaster off the side of the hotel. And then, or the restaurant rather, Stratosphere restaurant. It is a hotel that's attached to it, but not the actual tower itself. And then there's another thing where you can go ahead and you can jump off the deal. It's like they harness you in, and then you free fall to this level that's near the ground of the Stratosphere. So it's a long jump if you want to go ahead and do that. And I remember telling Pat that I would give that a shot at some point if he ever wanted to do it with me. I've yet to do it, but I think I would give it a try. Not in a dress, it's all nice and dressed up, but if ever a casual night we went up there just for fun, I would give it a try. I think I would, go ahead and take the leap, because it looks like fun, and they harness you in, and I've yet to hear anything too horrible happening. I don't really know, but I was watching people jump off, and people who were riding on the roller coaster. It just looked like they were having a blast. And again, like I said, we had a really nice dinner. And then after dinner, we went downstairs, and it took a minute to get our car, because it was, it was a busy night. There were a lot of people in town, a lot more so than I thought there would be, because it was Sunday, and I just kind of thought it was going to be a bit more chill. I mean, it wasn't horrendously packed, but there were a lot more people than I had suspected would be there. And it took a while for the car to show up, but, finally got it, and we're on our way, and then we got a little sidetracked. It was, I don't know what happened with the directions and the whatnot, but we were having a thing. Sorry, I'm looking for my bronzer. I'm going to use this one today. And we got to Planet Hollywood late. We were going to see the variety show, and it started at 8:30, and we were kind of behind, so we're trying to figure out parking. And one place that we went to said it was going to be $30 to valet, so we're like, no, that's way too expensive. He directed us to another place, which was again the same price, and we're just kind of like, it's a lot to valet, and so we didn't really want to do that. So we ended up going to another place that was close by the shops, and it was $12 to go ahead and park. And it was getting near time for the show to start, so it was, we really wanted to get there and get a good seat before things started going. And it was great. We were blessed. We found this really great parking spot that was right by the elevator. It would take us right to the shops where we could just walk in and find, the theater that we were supposed to go to. And we got there right in the nick of time. And we're standing behind, a couple of people were ahead of us. And then we get up to the front of the line, and I show the lady this ticket I had purchased. And it's not a ticket. You get the ticket when you get to the ticket box, and then you go in, but it doesn't matter. It just shows that you purchased the thing. And she looks at me and says, "Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. This show is canceled." Pat and I look at each other. I'm like, but what? She's like, "Oh, you didn't get any notification that this show was canceled? It was canceled." Oh, and she looks at my date. It was canceled 2 or 3 days after you bought it. After I bought the ticket, it was canceled. there's no show. We rushed and we were like really just trying to get there, and it was a whole like, crunch time, and we were really excited to see the show and all that stuff, and we finally get there, we're right on time, and there is no show. It has been canceled, and no one informed me. And I do check spam and all that stuff every now and again, because sometimes important emails will go there, so I'm pretty mindful of that. Never saw a single notification saying that the show had been canceled. And in that moment, I was not happy. I was so bummed. We were really, really excited and just kind of standing there not really knowing what to do. And she offered us to see this, it was a less expensive comedy show. We didn't know who the comedian was, but she said, you can see this show for a little less money if you want to, go ahead and, check that out. And Pat was kind of like, oh, I don't know if I really want to do that. And I was just kind of like, I'm not really feeling that either. So we stepped over to the side to kind of, figure out what we were going to do next, have a new game plan. And I was just thinking, okay, why did I close that? I need that. Because I booked the trip through AAA, and I booked the show through AAA. And a couple weeks after I booked the show and all that, and we were, I was here at home doing whatever. It wasn't even that. It was right when I woke up in the morning. Here's what had me pissed. I'm just going to tell you guys straight out. AAA. AAA. I woke up in the morning. We're hitting rewind before the show. Everything's booked and all that stuff, but let's just rewind. Everything's already taken care of. It's a couple weeks before we're going to go ahead and go to Vegas. We're, rewound totally. And it's the morning, and I'm waking up, and I look over at my phone, and I have like 10 missed phone calls. So I panicked. Oh my gosh, what's going on? Who's trying to get a hold of me? I leave my phone on vibrate. I don't like my phone ringing in the night unless I have to get up, for work or whatever. I don't leave my phone on. I just don't, which may not be a great thing, because if there's an emergency like that, then you wake up to 10 phone calls and you're like, oh no, who's in trouble? Nobody was in trouble. It was AAA. AAA was calling me because I have renter's insurance through them. And they called me and called me and called me and called me and called me. They'd already sent me something in the mail. They'd sent me multiple emails. And I was just thinking, I'll get to it when I get to it. It's okay. It's not crucial. It's good to have renter's insurance, but this isn't my top priority right now. I'll take care of it when I take care of it. So I wasn't really thinking much about it. The emails and stuff, I let them go. I'd gotten a couple of them, no big deal. But this particular day, AAA went off. And when I say they went off, I mean that they called me and texted me and emailed me over 20 times within the span of an hour. And by the time the hour was up, I was not my best self when I picked up the phone and was talking to someone who had called me. That it was just the last straw. And I said, listen, I know you're doing your job and it's not your fault. And I always, when I'm upset or frustrated about something, I always try to make sure that I say, listen, I know it's not you. I know you're doing your thing. I totally get it. I respect that. I know what it's like to work with the public. I've done it for 30 plus years. I'm not trying to be an asshole, straight up. I'm not. But this isn't cool. This isn't how you do business. I'm going to go ahead and re-up this when I choose to re-up it. You guys are calling me, and I just had it. I need you to stop calling me, and I will go ahead and take care of it when I choose to take care of it. The guy was really nice. He understood where I was coming from. He said, listen, I'm sorry, you're on our call list, so you're getting calls from all the AAAs, that exist, basically. It's what it seemed like to me. And, I'll take you off, but I can't guarantee you're not going to get any more calls. And I said, okay, cool. I really appreciated that. And then hang up, and I go on about my day, and, a couple more calls do come in, but it's not the full bombardment. Still a couple more calls, and he had already warned me. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to let that go, and I'll deal with it later. Then I get a call from Pat. And I picked up the phone. I'm like, hey, what's up? And he's like, well, hon, just want you to know I went ahead and I took care of our renter's insurance. And I'm like, what? So I guess AAA was like, well, since we're not getting the money from her, let's go ahead and call her husband and see if he'll give us the money. And sure enough, unbeknownst to him, he just thought, I'm just going to go ahead and take care of it. And they got the money from him. So I was feeling a certain way about AAA at this point. So fast forward to that night, standing there thinking, why wouldn't they had let me, they're so ready to call me about my renter's insurance every 5 minutes, every like ridiculous amounts of time in an hour, that they can't inform me that my show has been canceled so I can go ahead and book something else. I was really freaking, I was pissed off. I really was. I was so freaking bummed out. And it may be that they just don't get informed. It may be that their travel department there doesn't get notified when, because they're like booking it through a third party or whatever. I don't know what the deal is, but I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt, saying maybe they didn't realize that it had been, canceled or whatever. But if they could be that on me for my renter's insurance, I mean, I don't know. In my mind, I just figure it would have been nice if they had let me know that the show had been canceled, if that is in fact something that they're even privy to. Again, I'm not sure. I haven't ever really booked a show through them before. I've booked rooms through them, but never a show, so I have no idea how that all works. But I can tell you, standing there with no show to go and see, and after that experience with AAA, I was feeling a certain way. And that certain way was not pleasant. So we thought maybe we'll go ahead and, play craps or something like that. We'll try big tables or whatever. And we went over to Planet Hollywood, to their casino, but it was so jam-packed with human beings. I wasn't feeling it. I didn't want to gamble there. It was too much going on. And so I was like, okay, you know what? Let's just go back to our hotel and we'll hang out for a bit and, play a little downstairs and see how the night goes. Let me put a little of this more here to connect. So we go back to the hotel and I wash off my makeup and all that and get into some comfy clothes, and I go downstairs and I know Pat had said he didn't really feel like gambling there and he wasn't really into it, but he came along anyway, and I appreciated that. We hung out, we were playing a little Keno and stuff, and I was playing it was like a 4-card thing, and there's a progressive for like 10 grand if you get X amount. I didn't win 10 grand. I wish I had, but I didn't. But I did hit something after a while. I got over 400 bucks. So maybe we didn't get to go see the show and do that whole deal, but we did get to win some money that covered dinner and all that jazz. So kind of, even things out a little bit, made it more fun, and, it was all fine and good. I'm curious to know what you guys would say if that were you in that situation and you had had that experience, if you would feel like the way I felt. You know what I mean? Am I out of line to say that it would have been nice to be notified? Because I was trying to figure out if I had been notified, and I really hadn't. So, I don't know. The consolation prize, again, wasn't so terrible. Just saying. I don't mind that I won the 400 bucks because it did kind of, liven things up a little bit after that. So what I'm going to go ahead and do now is I'm going to hop off and I'm going to put on my lashes and all that stuff. I don't like doing lashes on camera because sometimes it takes forever and can't really talk while I'm doing them because I'm trying to focus, which is not my strong suit. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to hop back on and we're going to wrap up today's Get Ready With Me. So I will be right back. So the lashes are on, and these are my little Ardell lashes. I'm not sure if I'm digging them. I don't know. They're feeling kind of downturned, but whatever. They're going to serve their purpose for right now, and we're going to get on with our lives. So let me just grab a little lip gloss here, or a lippy. What do I want to do? Yeah, we'll just do this Patrick Ta one, and then we'll wrap the story up. So after we got home, let me put this on real quick. I also got invited out by my sister-in-law. They went ahead and had a girls' night over at the Hollywood Bowl where we had a picnic and listened to Grwm, and it was a lot of fun. I actually really enjoy classical music, and they had a pianist there who was there for a special performance, and I guess he was under the weather. I don't think it was the big vid or anything like that, but he wasn't feeling good, so he played one song, and then he was, he exited the stage, which I hope he's feeling better. But it was a wonderful night. We had a great time. And all in all, I had a really great birthday. I mean, it wasn't so like, oh, outrageously terrible, but there were a couple things that, like I said, it was just kind of like, really? So this is the finished look, and I'm just glad that I got to hang out and share this with you guys. The whole story, this, that, and the other. It really was a fun birthday. I did have fun. I had a good time. I am very grateful. I don't want anyone thinking that, I'm not. I did get to do a lot of fun stuff, and I'm glad that I did. It's just some things that happened that were just kind of, weird. Like, weird. So anyway, that's going to do it for me today, guys. Thank you so much for sticking around and watching. I really do appreciate it. I love you. I've missed you. I hope y'all are safe. I hope you're healthy. I hope you're happy. And as always, I hope y'all have a beautiful day. Thanks. Bye.